Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my corner of the internet. Once again, my name is Jason, and today we're back with some more Elder Scrolls 2 Daggerfall. Okay, first things first, you'll probably notice, hey, this is not where we left off. Well, we'll keep things short. I had computer problems, fixed the hardware, figured I would go ahead and reformat the whole drive, make sure the software was working in harmony with the hardware, you know, make sure everything was nice and pristine and ready for recording and stuff. Copied over my entire Daggerfall folder, but then realized that the Anthology edition of Daggerfall decides to not put the save games where the original DOS game used to, which was in the Daggerfall folder, but put them in your C drive users, username, local data, whatever folder. And as such, I lost all my saves. So I recreated Alexis as closely as possible to how she was before, but obviously I was not able to get things exactly the same. So we're gonna go ahead and first I'm just gonna give you a quick glance of where I've gotten back to. We're level 2. These are the stats. My skills are as such. You can take a look at those in case those are important to you for whatever reason. And spellbook is pretty much the same. All right, my equipment is also different. I've actually picked up this really cool. Actually, we'll take off the shirt. This weird full body suit. It's actually really cool. Let me see. Oops. Let's put that back on. I'm trying to take off the belt. So as you can see, it's got this full sort of Khajiit bodysuit thing. It's actually really cool. It's kind of got like a ninja sort of, like a ninja sneaky kind of vibe to it. You know, of course I've been wearing armor to make myself a little bit more resistant to damage. I just wanted to sort of show that off. I've also picked up a couple marks, which are these little gems. It says an emerald, and it has another emerald, which both powers are unknown at this time. I just know that I'm wearing 2 magical, we'll say gems or crystals of some sort. Actually, sorry, those aren't marks, those are crystals. And I'm also wearing a magical shirt. The shirt I'm wearing underneath the armor is magical in nature as well, but I don't know what it is. Now, I've also lost the book, so King Edward Part 1 is no longer in my inventory. This makes me sad. Fortunately, I actually discovered this building. This building here is I'm guessing it's a library, because you can come in here and read the books on the shelves. And over on this bookshelf here, I found a copy of King Edward Part 1. So, I figured, well, you know, since I won't be able to do this at the end of the episode, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and read it now. I'll cut that out and then slap it at the end of the episode. That way there, we have the reading at the end, and you get all the action here. So, I'm going to go ahead and record that now, and then we'll continue on with the, well, editing and stuff. All right. So, got the reading done. That'll be at the end of the episode if you're interested. It was kind of a long read, so be aware of that. These are all the doors I opened up on my quest to try to find I originally thought this was a bookstore, so I came in here because there was a sign outside showing books, so I was like, hey, maybe I can buy some books. Can I buy books? No. So this is most definitely just a library, which is kind of disappointing because I want to get some books. I was kind of hoping it would be a bookstore, but let me take a look. Info mode. No. Lyceum. Daggerfall Lyceum. Lyceum. Is a Lyceum another word for like a library type thing? I don't know. Anyways. So. What have I learned on my way back to where I was last time? You know, short a level, but I caught up with the storyline. I've done the main quest up to basically where I was before. And, let's see. What have I learned? Well, so far I've learned that sabers are actually long blades in this game. So I've actually switched over to this sucker here, the Steel Wakazashi. It's a short blade, so it does short blade damage. I couldn't think of any other way to reconcile that sentence. I was like, I started this sentence, that just sounds stupid. I don't know how to finish it. All right, so anyways, I'll definitely want to be coming back there. So there's some books that, you know, I can read. I'll probably not read them all in one sitting next time, or I'll probably just read what I have in my inventory. But for the sake of, we'll say, getting caught back up, I thought that would be a good idea. So let's actually go ahead and find the Mages Guild. I need to find a quest because I need to fail something because I'm a common citizen. I'm not even distrusted anymore. Disappointing, Jason. Come on. Alright, let's politely ask where the Mages Guild is. Hail, good friend, are you familiar with the whereabouts of the Mages Guild? And she would say, I guess I could tell you. The Mages Guild is a ways west of here. I am having a very hard time talking, if you didn't know this. Holy crap! So yeah, that was actually a real, I'm actually, you know what? I'm glad it didn't happen. Oh, there we go, I've been there before. So it's already marked on my map. I'm glad it didn't happen when I was further into the game. That would have really upset me. So, but I'm glad. And you know, I learned some stuff, being able to just sort of play the game off screen, really, like not while being recorded. I was able to just sort of, you know, experiment a little bit and, we'll say, become more familiar with things. Where is the... Okay, it's on the other side of this thingamabob. It looks like this big, garden? Yeah. So we're gonna go on the other side there. We're gonna go to the Mages Guild. I still have some magic, and I've actually been casting spells to try to, increase my, spell casting abilities. Shut up, cow. So, let's go ahead into the Mages Guild, grab a quest, and while we're at it, let's also go ahead and, oh, come on, what time are you open? They're open from 11 to 11 to 11. And what time is it now? It's 11! It must have just turned 11. Good timing, Jason, good timing. Alright, so I've already gone ahead and joined the Mages Guild. Now, I think I should probably grab a killing spell of some sort, even if I've got any money. Let's see, buy spells. Can I buy... What's Wizard's Fire? Let's see, duration, chance, magnitude. 1 to 15 plus 1 to 4 per level. It costs 304. I've got a little over 600, I think. Oh, that hurts. I had so much more money than that. Yeah, 626. Can I buy at least the fireball spell? Wait, do I want a fireball spell? Let's think about this for a second. Fireball spell or stealthy spells. I like the idea of a stealthy spell. Invisibility normal. No. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go back to the spell maker. I'm going to try to make a... Actually, you know what? My spells are just garbage right now. Screw it. Let's just get a quest. Let's get a quest. I'll continue casting Chameleon until my spell casting ability is high enough that I can use some decent spells. I want to try to avoid damaging spells throughout this playthrough. Just because, you know, I feel like I did that a lot last time, and it's not really the character I want to play Alexis as. She wants to be a lot of utility spells, very few destruction spells. Although a healing spell would be good. Let's go get a healing spell. Yeah, I think that's one thing we can probably agree on. Let's see. Light, levitate, wizard's lock, cure poison, buoyancy, ice bolt. Yeah, restoration sounds like a decent, decent choice. Regenerate. New spell drain. Force. Oh, what's spell drain? Damage spell points. So I can drain. Ooh. Yeah, but I don't get that magic. I was like, oh, maybe I should get a spell where I can absorb other people's magic, but I don't think that's what that will do. Jumping stamina. That's basically like my... Yeah, that's like my Red Bull spell I had before. That's actually probably a good idea. Let's grab that. 162. Okay, so because based on my, we'll say, charisma and all that, I'm basically paying double the price. Ouch. Let's see how much a healing spell costs, and then I might decide either, you know, I might decide to either just get Dispel Undead. Cure disease, soul trap, heal, finally. Yeah, I'll barely be able to afford that. You've bartered down to that. Okay, so 466 gold pieces for heal. That's a good spell to have. And I'm low on money now. Let's see if I can get stamina. I want to get stamina because My stamina goes down quite a bit in this game. Oh, I don't have enough gold. Ah! All right, let's grab a mission. Let's just get back into the game here. Get a quest. Did I accidentally hit talk? I meant get quest. Okay. Yeah, he gives quests because it's right there. Get quest. Get quest? Why does he not give me quests? There we go. I have heard of you, Alexis. As a fellow member of the Mages Guild, I am embarrassed to be seen with you. Thanks! I'll take that as a compliment somehow? You get no response. Really? What about you? Do you give quests? No, you don't, of course not. You give spells. Can I leave and then go back in? Will he... Why won't you give me a quest? Fine! Be that way! I don't understand what happened there. Is there anyone else who'll give me quests? No, of course not, because there's only one person that does each thing. Alright, so it looks like we're not getting a quest. I'm gonna go ahead and save my game now, though. We're gonna go ahead and save this as replay, because I was replaying. Alright, with being unable to get a quest from the Mages Guild, I have decided that instead I will try to get a quest from some other guild, maybe. Let's see, the Fighters Guild, why not? It's northeast of here. Alright, so northeast is apparently the Fighters Guild. Alright, and here we are at the... You're not the Fighters Guild, are you? No, you don't look like the Fighters Guild. What do you say? What are you? Alright, I've got to right-click on the door. No? Enter on the door. So I'm in the Temple of Kinnereth. And you're doing a really weird salute. Yo, lady. I see Barbona Woodcroft. Heck, I'm here. Why don't I see if I can join? Can I join the guild? Yes, you are worthy to join the temple. Kinnereth will embrace you as a member. Are you interested in joining? Yeah, sure, why not? I didn't make it to the Fighters Guild, but you guys are here, so that's cool. Well, welcome then, my child. You may consider yourself a novice now. Our trainers are available to you for the other benefits of the temple. Be patient, work hard, and they will come to you. Cool. So who gives me quests? Do you give me quests? You cure diseases. You sell spells. You dance. Let's see. We of the Temple of Kinnereth are always willing to help members of the Mages Guild. After all, we are both part of Kinnereth. That's interesting. Okay, that's cool. So maybe I inadvertently joined we'll say a compatible guild. That's kind of cool. I like that. All right. Any news? Have you heard anything interesting lately? Ardell Bluedale has ascended to the throne and is the new lord. Long may Ardell Bluedale rule over Worthgarian Mountains. Okay, cool. And you, do you give quests? Nobody gives quests. Who gives the quests? That's kind of a cool looking door. You, spooky looking guy. No, you do dangerous summoning. And what about in here? You, do you give? No, you make spells. You? Yes! A quest giver! A house over in Grimwood is being haunted by some sort of undead. We need someone to exorcise the spirit. Are you up to it? It pays 168 gold pieces. I don't have the exorcising spell and I don't have enough money to... I'll try. Why not? Remember, if the haunt is too tough for you to handle yourself, just get out of there. No one will blame you for saving your skin. The place is called the Yemfield Residence, and it's in Grimwood. You have 9 days, or we send someone else out to do the job. Okay, that's cool. He's like, no pressure. We realize this is probably going to kill you, so, you know, just get out if you need to. I like these temple people. They seem like cool people. Alright, so we need to head to Grimwood. That just doesn't sound like a good place to go. Where are you going? I'm going to Grimwood. All right, let's go ahead and find Grimwood. All the way up there. Yes, I'd like to go there. Stop for the night at inns. Nah, it's gonna cost me 15. I don't want to. No, we're camping out. We're gonna travel recklessly on foot. Begin. All right, so some of my skills went up. That's cool. I was gonna hoping my stamina would have gone up, but I guess it didn't. So that kind of sucks. So I'm gonna find myself a tavern, which is right in front of me. I'm gonna rest for the night, and then we'll say first thing in the morning, I'll go tackle that haunt. This is the tavern, right? Yes, this is a tavern. Sup, people? You. I need a room. I'll need it for 1 day. 5 gold pieces. Sounds good. Rest okay, till fully healed, I guess, works. Now, actually, I discovered something. Because I've never actually done it where I've rested beyond when I had a room. And that's one thing I did while I was playing through the game back to this point. Was that if you... Oh. Let's see. 5:19. You know what? Let's just go ahead and loiter for like 3 hours. So we'll go ahead, loiter for 3 hours. Actually, 2 hours should do the trick. And that'll bring us to daylight. So I'll just sit there twiddling my thumbs, you know. All right, it's now morning, and I need to find the Yemfield residence. So let's go ahead and talk to these people. Be like, hey, guy, can you tell me where the Yemfield residence is? Let's see, regional. Okay, tell me about where is location, previous list. Taverns? General. Ah, there it is. The Yemfield resident, and I want to ask nicely, because I want to work on that etiquette skill. Hail, good stranger, are you familiar with the whereabouts of the Yemfield residence? It's really easy, you'll want to go a bit of a walk. Just go southwest. Thanks, guy, we're going southwest. Now, residences don't show up as a color on the map, so I'm going to need to switch to my info mode, which doesn't seem to be working for me. Let's see. Do I need my cursor? Or do I just use my mouse button? No? Okay. Oh, crap. Oh, there's a quick cast button. I don't think I have the means to kill this thing. It just opened a door. I'm totally freaking out. I'm like quiet because I'm just so tense right now. I'm like, what the heck is gonna come after me? I'm gonna hit it and it's gonna be like, your weapon is ineffective. Okay, I have a feeling it's probably upstairs or something. Oh man, I am the ancestor of the builder of this house. It now belongs to the dead. Let all living creatures shun this place. What the heck? There you are! Yep, I knew it! I'm out of here! Okay, I probably should have got that fireball spell after all. How much money do I have? I could sell one of my books. Those are usually pretty good for cash. I hate to do that though, but okay, so we'll head south a bit. There's a shop to my direction. That's very, very specific, Jason. There's a shop to my direction. That's this one over here. Oh, wait, this is a residence? Yes, Jason, you were going the wrong way. I thought I was, but okay. So I run over here. I'll try to sell my book or some of my loot that I've got in my pockets. I'll sell that and then try to get some means to damage supernatural beings. Vintage supply store. Alright, guys. Yeah, I need to... sell... What can I sell? What will you take? No, I want to keep the magic shirt. I thought I put that back on. I guess not. Let's see, what book sounds... They both sound interesting. Origin of the Mages Guild. Or Divad the Singer. Let's go ahead and get rid of Divad the Singer. No, you know, I have a feeling Origin of the Mages Guild will be easier to get my hands on. I don't know. Let's, sell it. Goodbye. Both books. I need the money. Alright, yeah, you're right. Good quality all around. I'll offer a little more than the standard price. 1,410 gold pieces. Thank you, guy. Yes! Alright, so actually let's put that shirt back on. I have no idea what it is, but hey, it can't hurt, right? Actually, it probably can. Let's see. Weapons and armor, clothing and magic. I have a feeling I need to go to a magical store. So, Mages Guild. I need to know where the Mages Guild is in this town. Yo, lady. I need to know where the... Actually, yeah. Guilds, the Mages Guild. And we're gonna ask politely, because we're polite people, right? Don't care, and I don't want to talk to you anymore. Goodbye. Alright, fine. I'll be a little more blunt. So, point me towards the Mages Guild. Don't care. Alright, Alexis isn't that kind of person. She won't kill her. But me as a player, I'm like... No, I still don't want to kill her. There's frustration, but not enough to act violently on it. Yo, guy, what's up? Yeah, I need to know where the Mages Guild is. Please? It's north of here. Thanks, guy. Alright. And we're at the Mages Guild. I just need some sort of spell to, What time is it? It's 8 in the morning! Alright, so I'll just loiter for, like, what, 3 hours? Yeah, 3 hours should do the trick. You have finished loitering. Awesome. Alright. Guy, I need spells. No. Somebody. Aw, you're gonna make me look around. Of course you are. Yo, lady. Actually, identifying would be good. No, I need spells first. I'll come back and talk to you later, lady. Up here? Is there anyone in here who can help me? No. Anyone up these stairs who could help me? You. Buy spells. Yes, this is exactly what I need. Ice Storm, damage health. Shadow form. Ooh. Cause Dark to meld into normal shadows. Nah, it's okay. Chameleon, that's still normal. I have that already. Ice Storm. Normal invisibility. I think Ice Storm's probably the best one. Let's see, it does 1 to 30 damage plus 1 to 5 per level. That's really the only attack spell they've got, eh? Alright, we're going with Ice Storm. The Mages Guild prides itself on having the lowest prices in Grimwood. You're probably the only people who sell them, too. Though you have bargained with me until the sun is low in the sky, I can sell for no less than 1,076 gold pieces. Thank you. Now let's go deal with that ghost. Thanks for nothing, guy standing in the main room. Alright, let's go to the Yeomfield residence. Alright, we're here. Let's go ahead and save the game just in case. We'll save this as... stuff! With one too many T's. Draw the sword. Wait, no, we don't even need the sword. Alright, let's try this. The lock is nothing to fear from me. We are at the right place, right? Yeah. No, we're not. Oops. This is the building! I'm so silly. Okay. Ice Storm. I totally don't even have enough magic to cast it! I hate my life! Ah, you don't have spell points! And I just got punched in the head. Okay. I just wasted my money for nothing. I hate this game. Oh, I should have got the turn dead spell back in Daggerfall. Okay. Crap. Alright guys, you know what? I want maybe a little bit of advice, if you will. Anyone have any ideas? I probably could think of something, but I want to involve you guys, baby. So we're gonna go ahead and stop things here. If you like the content, go ahead and give it a like. If you don't, give it a dislike. Either way, let me know what you thought, and if you have any tips, the reading is coming up right after this, if that's something that interests you. But if it doesn't, and you're about to leave, then, well, I would like to ask you all to game on. Alright, children, take a seat and get ready for a story. We're gonna talk about King Edward. So let's go ahead and look at the bookshelf here. We've got The Light in the Dark, King Edward Part 8. We also have King Edward Part 9, and I believe there's King Edward Part something else over on one of the other shelves, but we're going to read Part 1, because that's where we left off, and I want to at least be able to finish the book that we were reading, before we continue. So, let's see here. So, let's see. His father had no idea where he was and didn't care, being occupied with his young wife and their sons and other pleasures of noble life. This is where we left off. So let's go ahead and read from here. At the plop of an apple barely missing his head, he opened his pale gray eyes. There was a sweet, rotten smell in his nostrils. He sighed and stared up into the blue. Why should things fall down instead of up? If you stared at the sky long enough, you could feel as if you were falling into it. I've done that. That's actually, yeah, it's true. It's kind of a cool feeling. His eyes glazed and the pupils grew huge as the dark-ringed irises dilated. He was weightless, drifting. Another apple fell, grazing his ear, and he thudded to earth, crying out as first his rump struck, and then his head. A silvery laugh sounded. Edward sat up abruptly and stared around, jaw hanging slack. Two mounted men stood 10 feet away, still as if they were carved from stone, regarding him intently. Princes are not easily intimidated, not even the gentle-souled kind. But Edward had never seen or imagined anything like this pair. One had golden skin and eyes, was clad in white cloth trimmed with gold, and wrote Edward blinked. It was still there. Was still there. Okay. A unicorn! Beside the unicorn was a golden dragon, wings neatly folded, and on his back was a man clad in dark chainmail, a long sword at his side. He was bareheaded, his eyes glowed red in his dark face, and his pointed ears. You're elves! What? He's a clever child. The dark elf's voice was sardonic. He spoke perfect Bretic. Edward noticed. His mind still working, although something seemed to have gone wrong with the rest of him. So it would seem he did that mostly of himself. Remarkable for an untrained child. I merely helped him to concentrate. The high elf also spoke Bretic, but hesitantly and with a slight singing accent. Edward's tutors said that elves were incapable of human speech. Really? That's interesting. Edward's gaze shifted rapidly over the four beings in front of him, unable to find a comfortable resting place. He hoped briefly, fervently, that he was dreaming. His mind seethed with questions and demands. Then quite suddenly, his tongue came unstuck. But I wasn't concentrating at all. My masters all say I'm incapable. Edward clamped his jaw down hard, suddenly realizing that it might be unwise to argue with beings such as these. But the golden elf smiled broadly, showing perfect white teeth. Exactly. He radiated such warm approval that Edward felt his skin tingle pleasantly. It was a feeling that he'd only known with his long-gone mother. But the other elf's face was expressionless. The red eyes bored into Edward's as if they would pierce his soul. Morelaine. You're Morelaine, the Witch King. He jumped to his feet and faced the dark elf. You stole my mother. My father will kill you. I did. Will he? Shall we call him and find out? The dark elf straightened and his eyes glowed deeper. A tiny puff of steam escaped the dragon's nostrils. A glowing aura appeared around his companion. Edward knew he wasn't going to call the guard. Why should they be slaughtered? These two looked capable of anything. Quite suddenly, he was no longer afraid. If they were here to hurt him, they'd have done it by now. But a feeling of impotent rage remained. They'd taken his mother, and now... "Why are you here?" he demanded. "Edward, will you come with us?" The High Elf spoke. Hearing him was like hearing a harp, cool as a breeze, warm as a fireside. The boy stood very still. He wanted very much to say yes. To his own amazement, he wanted to ask if he would see his mother, but instead, "My father," he croaked. "We'll miss you, no doubt." The irony was back in Morlane's voice. A voice that that's right, Edward think of icicles sparkling and dripping in winter sun. But there was a sort of hunger in his glowing eyes. A longing? His father wouldn't miss him, and he knew it. Shame ran through the boy, but he looked up at the broad-shouldered elf. Defiantly. "Are you my father?" Well, that took a weird jump. Edward had meant the question to match the elf's sarcasm, but his... Okay, I gotcha. What are you, like my father? Gotcha. But his hand crept to his ear as if of itself. He wasn't anything like his short-tempered, hardy, red-haired father, and Roan often said he had an elfin look. There was a heavy silence, and Edward sensed that Morlane was taking the question at face value. But that truth had nothing to do with what Morlane would say next. He would give the expedient answer, still. No. It came reluctantly. He might be lying, of course, but Edward felt a deep wave of relief. "Does my mother have other sons?" Suddenly, Edward knew she did not, and that the question would hurt the Dark Elf, and was glad. "Your mother might be dead for all you know, or care, it seems." The Dark Elf's narrow nostrils twitched as if Edward stank, and the lines around his mouth deepened. She was not dead, Edward would have known. The bitter injustice of Morlane's contempt stung. "Did she send you to me?" "Do you take me for an errand boy?" he snapped, and spoke to his companion. "Let us take him now and be gone. We may discuss it at leisure." The Golden Elf held up his hand. "Patience, my cousin." And to Edward, "Well, youngling, will you come?" Dark tales were told of human children kidnapped by elves, who hungered for young humans. "I don't know your name," Edward temporized. "Do you love your life here so much?" Edward looked at the palace in the distance, the banners floating lazily above, the town below, the sparkling bay, the distant mountains. I love Daggerfall." "Ah, and you shall return to hold it, Prince Edward. I, Eric Harad Egun, the Archmagister, swear it to you." Morlane swung about, protesting sharply in Elvish. The dragon spat a bit of flame, but the unicorn did not move. Its golden eyes regarded Edward steadily. Unicorns do not abide any sort of falsity. The words floated through his mind in his mother's voice. "Eric Harad Egun, the Archmagister, I will come with you. You must ride with Morlane. The Lord Akatosh has consented to this necessity." The elf made a sweeping gesture toward the dragon. He wasn't fit to touch a unicorn, of course. "Very well then, I don't suppose I could bring my dog." Where was he? Shag was always with them, asleep in the grass. Shag, the ever alert? Edward knelt to touch him. A heated discussion in Elvish ensued, during which the dragon scorched the grass. Morlane swung down and picked Shag up with distaste. "Very well then, but I warn you that Akatosh is at the limit of his patience. Mount then." "Lord Akatosh, I am most deeply obliged by your indulgence, if ever I may repay it." Okay, I'm trying to make sense of what's going on here. So... okay, I'm not even sure who he's talking about, or who he's talking to anymore. So his dog didn't react to the elves. Okay, yeah, so... You must ride with Morlane. The Lord Akatosh has consented to this necessity. Okay. Okay, so Morlane is the dragon. Okay. Morlane is the dragon, I think. Or it's Akatosh. No, Moreline, whatever. And he wants to know if he can bring the dog. And, yes, it's gotta be Akatosh. That would be the only thing that makes sense. Okay, let's see. You will. Moreline interrupted. He seized Edward by the belt and tossed him up onto the dragon. Okay. Okay, so yeah, okay, so Moreline's not the dragon. Akatosh is the dragon. And Moreline is, I'm guessing, the high elf. I think. Edward settled himself between the dragon's neck and wings, and the sleeping shag was draped limply in front of him. There isn't room for, Edward began, and jerked in astonishment as the dragon shifted beneath him and grew larger. Much, much, much larger. Moreline vaulted up behind with a prodigious leap, clearing it neatly. The dragon's great wings stretched. He crouched, then leapt into the air. His rider swayed wildly. The dark elf muttered something Edward couldn't understand in Elvish, and they steadied. The wings beat strongly, and the dragon circled low over the keep, gaining altitude slowly. People were running about now, shouting and pointing. Edward saw his old nurse and waved and shouted, "Goodbye! Goodbye! I'll be back sometime!" Sounds like the ending to a Disney film. Arrows flew through the air as bowmen shot, while the nurse screamed and clutched at the arms of those nearest. King Corsair ran naked onto the battlement, screaming and waving his fists. "Child of a demon, come back and I'll thrash you within an inch of your worthless life! Moreline, come back down and fight like a man you aren't!" Moreline's loud laughter rang clear as temple bells, cascading over the keep. He shouted, "Be glad I don't, little king of the small cock." Okay. The dragons, that's one of the weirdest insults I've ever heard. Alright. The dragon circled almost lazily and let out a huge gout of flame. Arrows clinked harmlessly off of his golden scales. "I'm off to see my mother," Edward screamed out. Oh yeah, sorry. "I'm off to see my mother!" Noting the upturned faces of his stepmother and his red-haired sons. And her red-haired sons. Why is it always red-haired? It's always the stepsons, stepchildren, always red-haired. Rowan had a fur-trimmed robe clutched round her, but her long hair floated wildly. 4 pairs of eyes fastened on him, not Moreline, glittering with fury and hatred. Edward stopped waving and clutched Shag tightly with both hands. Moreline's mail-clad arm was securely about his waist. Edward slumped against him, feeling quite safe for the first time in a very long while. The bowmen had stopped shooting, most of them were looking at the royal family. The king danced with rage. The great dragon's wings beat harder now, and they headed due south, out over the water. Holy crap, this is a long book! Aren't we going to Ebonheart? The boy twisted round and looked up at Moreline. "Your mother awaits you at Firsthold in Somerset, little prince. Why did you wait so long to fetch me?" Querulous child. Do you think dragons and unicorns do the bidding of elves or men? Your mother came to me full willing, but she could not bring you. You were too closely guarded by your father's men. Would you have had us lay waste your land to take you by force? She thought you would be safe and cared for, and she was desperate. No, this was the dragon's plan. Of all the astonishing events of the afternoon, this was the most surprising. The notion that a dragon should take an interest in him, when not even his own family did. But willing, the elf said, full willing. You are the focus of large events, youngling. Your task is to prepare yourself to be a king such as your people have never known. Our task is to aid you. Sleep now. Waves of sleep assaulted Edward's mind, one after another, but he meant to ask Moreline about his mother. But the last wave was too big. It crashed right over him, and he slipped into dark, fire-shot dreams. All right, well, that was quite the long book. If you did stick around for the whole thing, I feel sorry for you, but I'm kind of glad. I hope you enjoyed it. I would like to thank you so much for joining me once again in Daggerfall. If you like the content, would like to see more, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you don't, go ahead and leave it a thumbs down. Either way, let me know what you thought in the comment section, Twitter, any other way you know to get a hold of me. And until next time, game on.